When police arrived at the hospital, an investigator from the OSBI named Chad went in to talk with Taylor. He was gentle, almost kind, telling her they were mostly concerned about her health, that with all the blood on her, she should really let the doctor check her for some internal bleeding or hemorrhaging. Taylor kept deflecting, kept saying it wasn't a big deal, that she didn't want the doctor to check her. And then finally she agreed to the exam, and while they waited, the investigators told her straight, they knew she'd had a hysterectomy. They knew she'd claimed to be pregnant for a while when she really wasn't, and they wanted to know where this baby came from. Taylor just kept insisting that she had given birth that morning, the baby was hers, and then when Dr. Heron finally did the vaginal exam, it took about a second. There was no cervix, no uterus. As he put it,
it doesn't look like she had a baby.
It doesn't?
No.
Okay.
Does not look like she had a baby there. Come on here. Ready. So what happened?
Yes, ma'am.
Taylor hadn't had a uterus since 2015, and still she sat in that ER and insisted she had delivered her own baby in the car. How delusional must you be to think that you're going to pull one over on a group of MDs? Back in New Boston, while doctors in Oklahoma were unraveling Taylor's story, Reagan was lying on the floor of her home 12 miles away, and her family's mourning was about to become one of the worst of their lives. Homer had been getting strange text messages from Reagan's phone since around 7 a.m. Some of it sounded like her, but the tone was kind of off and he could tell something was wrong. And then around 9:30 a.m., his neighbor Brittany messaged him on Facebook that their new puppy, their black lab, was loose in the street. So Homer was trying to call Reagan and there was no answer. So he called again and again, and that was not like her. So then he called the daycare family, anyone who could get to the house, and started driving back from Texarkana where he worked. Before he left, he called Reagan's mom, Jessica, and asked her if she could go check. Jessica was also at work, but said that she would head over. And on the way, she stopped at their daughter's daycare, telling herself that if the daughter wasn't there, then at least the baby was safe. The worker came back and told her she's not there, and Jessica got back in the car, drove past the police station, and called her husband Marcus, wondering if she should just go in and tell them something was wrong. Marcus told her to go to the house first and see if Reagan's car was there, and it was. So Jessica went inside and found something no parent should ever have to see. There was a bloody handprint on the back door. She stepped in and found Reagan face down on the floor, covered in blood, her blonde hair soaked red. The kitchen was completely wrecked. Jessica screamed Reagan's name and begged her to say something, but the house was silent. She stumbled outside, fell to her knees in the yard. She later said she knew from all the blood that it was too late. Jessica called 911 between roughly 10:15 and 10:18 a.m. In that call, which was played for the jury and on the Netflix documentary, you can hear her screaming, "Help me, my daughter's been murdered. There's blood everywhere. Oh my babies, oh my God." Marcus arrived right after with his friend Chris Hughes. Jessica begged Marcus not to go in, but he did, calling Reagan's name over and over as he moved throughout the house. He then came back out with his hand over his mouth, shouting "Why?" fell to the ground in the driveway and started having chest pains. Chris Hughes then pushed through the house and found Reagan's daughter on her bed under a blanket, thankfully unharmed. Then Bowie County Sheriff's investigator Chad Ford was dispatched to the house around 10:30 a.m. He had worked crime scenes for years, and he would say that the Hancock home was probably the worst scene he had seen in his life. A LifeNet paramedic was called to see if Reagan's unborn baby could be saved, but when EMS turned her body over, a body camera actually captured it, that there was a large incision across her lower abdomen. Her womb was opened, her baby was gone. And when the investigator asked, do you mean gone as in deceased or gone as in gone? They told him the baby was missing. And in that instant, everything shifted. Now it wasn't just a homicide. They were racing to find a stolen newborn who might still be alive. So they're contacting hospitals, getting officers out there, even checking dumpsters, running 1,000 scenarios. And then the two agencies started talking to each other, because remember, we're in two different states. In Oklahoma, a woman had appeared roadside with a newborn, but no medical sign that she had given birth. And then in Texas, a woman was dead on her floor with a baby cut out of her womb and missing. So a dispatcher actually connected the dots, mentioning the trooper who had stopped a woman who said that she had delivered on the side of the road and was heading to Idabel. So the investigators looked into it, and it was Taylor Parker.